Okay, Mike and Rosie.
Yes.
Mike and Rosie.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you guys grow up? Where are you from originally?
Missouri.
You're both from Missouri?
We're both from Missouri. Yes.
You guys are married
Yes. We've been married 41 years.
41 years.
Been together 45 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you've been, so you are swingers, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And nudists,
Right.
as we see.
Both.
Yeah.
They're separate things.
They're separate things. That's why I have to clarify, because
Yeah.
it's not like everyone here is a swinger.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
at Paradise Lakes Resort here in Florida, and it's there's different contingents, I guess, of nudists here. Some are swingers, some are not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to just speak freely. I'm not sure, you know, when you ask us something, I'm the most vociferous of the both of us.
That's fine.
You know, I don't want to like commandeer the conversation, but you know,
I'll encourage Rosie to speak up if you.
that would be a good
Yeah.
thing, because I'd like to see how that's going to go.
I don't talk that much.
This is what married couples are like.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the other way around.
Yeah.
How did you first get introduced to this lifestyle?
Well, I might as well answer it, because
he's get better at the
so
storytelling.
when I was a little kid, you know, 5, 6 years old, staying over at Grandma and Grandpa's. Well, my grandpa had in his stack of National Geographic, Popular Mechanics, and stuff like that. He had under that stack was these nudie magazines. They were naturist, you know, black and white, blurry pictures. You know, well, man, I'm looking at this because it's interesting. You know, so I knew about such things, and. I mean, at 5 years old, me and my buddy Chucky were going around the neighborhood asking the neighborhood girls to pull their pants down. You know, that's because that's what we did. So, and then growing up, there's a place in Missouri called the 40 Acre Club. It's one of the oldest nudist clubs or campgrounds in the country. So they would have there was an ad in the paper about it. You know, come to the Missouri's oldest club or the country's oldest club. Anyway. So when we got together and, you know, we got other stuff out of the way and we liked camping, I said, why don't we try this campground out in Missouri? So we went there in 1983
Yeah.
and just had a great time.
We were the youngest couple there, I believe.
They thought our parents dropped us
Yeah.
off.
How old were you?
I was 28, you were 25.
Right.
Which for there was pretty young. I mean, you see younger people now even, but back then at this place, I don't think we're like, we weren't that, obviously 28, 25
Right.
isn't that young. But,
Yeah.
and then they told us about, well, of course we had to join which back then was the American Sunbathing Association. So we joined that. Then we got exposed to, there's places all over the country, you know, so that's how we wound up coming down to Florida to Cypress Cove first. And then we were over at Cypress Cove, is near Kissimmee, Orlando area. And the people there said we needed to be here at Paradise Lakes.
Because this was a younger group.
Younger group.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So we first came here in 1988, and none of this was here. The RV park was a campground. It was a campground, and then
just outside the doors here are volleyball courts, swimming pools,
none of that was
Yeah.
here.
dancing, bands.
Yeah.
None of that.
None of that.
Now, I don't even think we went back to the club. Did we go back to the original clubhouse where the previous owner lives now? Was their clubhouse and a pool there and everything? And I think that was there, but it was November. It was too cold to do
Yeah.
anything, right?
Right.
So we just spent one night.
It does get cold in the winter
Yes.
here sometimes.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
So you're not naked in December.
Right.
well,
Well,
when they have a hot tub,
yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah. We are.
Right?
Yeah, we're almost always naked.
Really?
We don't.
Yeah, we
So-
live here full time.
Oh, you live here full time. So
Yes.
You're naked probably 90%
All
of
the
your-
time. Unless it is a little chilly, we'll
You know.
put something on.
But
But
when you're going to the bank, you got to put on clothes.
Well, they don't
yeah.
like it at Walmart.
Yeah.
They kind of
Yeah.
frown on it.
right.
And do you have kids?
No.
No.
No kids.
No.
No one to explain this to other than your.
Well, I mean,
What is
my
it?
family knows that, we're nudist.
How-
So
how-
it's not a big deal for
What was their reaction when you first told them?
Well, they didn't really. Well, they weren't surprised, So I'm the youngest of seven, and I mean, in our family, nobody ran around naked. I'd never even seen any of my brothers and sisters naked before, but I guess as I was growing up, they could see, I was wearing little skimpy bikinis and stuff. So it wasn't a big deal. Even my parents knew before they died.
Is there a little exhibitionist quality to nudism?
I'd say yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I think for us it kind of always was that anyway. I mean, skimpy bikinis. You were Miss Skimpy Bikini right out of the box.
I really didn't want to wear clothes, so I did the closest thing I could.
Yeah, it seems to be a very healthy community here. I mean, everyone seemed like when I pulled up in my car and carrying my bag, some beautiful girl rode by on a bicycle naked and just said, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah.
Where is this exactly?
Very friendly. Right.
There are a lot of friendly people here.
Very friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people like this Paradise Lakes, because they said this is one of the friendliest places that they've been to. Everybody talks to them and they don't feel like strangers.
I think this is my third time here, and each time it's like I'm struck by how just pleasant everyone is. The smiles seem genuine. The hellos seem like just really nice. And It's like everyone's just very happy to be here.
Right.
Does being naked make the interactions you have with others more authentic? I mean, like, because you don't know who the other person is. You don't know if they're wealthy or poor.
Yeah.
Could be a plumber. Could be a doctor. You don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about that stuff all the time. I mean, so we've been doing this for 38 years. I feel like even from the beginning, people usually, when they take their clothes off, a lot of people are nervous unless they've been doing it a long time, So when they're nervous, they tend to talk more, and they're just talking more because they don't know what else to say. So for us, I mean, the older we get, we can be at the pool all day and maybe not talk to anybody. It just depends, because we live here. We're not driven to the social aspect as much as we were when we were younger, right?
Right.
So we're happy. It's just like a regular day at the beach for us. I mean, it's just if we'll open up to somebody that seems interesting, not that we have an agenda, but it really depends. We don't even really know. But if we run into somebody right away, they sit down and start asking us all these questions. We kind of like, wait a minute, what? Settle down.
Just the way you would in the real world.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah, just like anywhere else. If we were at this grocery store and somebody came up and just started asking a bunch of questions, that wouldn't go over too good. That's kind of like where we've gotten to with this. We give other people a lot of space, and we might. I mean, it was a couple of years. Some of the people like Don and the people that work out in the pool in the morning, it took a couple of years before we started talking to them now, because we got to know them. I mean, when we were waiting in the lobby, they were coming out from their workout routine, and they were glad to see us. And hi, what's going on? And they didn't know, what are they doing sitting in here, because they don't sit in the lobby. But we talked to them, and but we got to know them. We know that they don't have an agenda, and we don't have an agenda. So now it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Is nudism about freedom? Just being free to just not have to wear clothes, not have to do it. We're all like conform.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it is, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
It's not a sexual thing as much as it's a freedom thing.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of nudists that just want to be nude. They don't want to be swingers. They just rather not have clothes on.
Yeah. And the swinger aspect, tell me about that. That's a whole nother part of this community.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys are married. You've been married a long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you go to some of the swinger get-togethers, and
Yeah, we used to. I mean, we still do sometimes, but that had to evolve. You know, I mean, when we were both really young when we met, it's not something. I mean, some people might. It took a lot. Look, the guy usually drives it. I'm going to say that. I mean, I hate to make blanket statements,
Well,
but don't you think it's the guy that usually is? And when we would go to parties, we thought, hey, a bunch of naked people are getting together. We're going to have a few drinks and stuff. Well, we didn't really know there was a swinger element, and but we found out right away, you know, and well,
when you've got a wife like that, you're going to get that.
Well, Rosie's defenses went up, you know, and things would happen, and we would never argue in front of people. That never happened.
No.
But we'd go home and like, okay, she wouldn't like this, and she would let me know about it, and she's. We had a lot of discussions about it, and the evolving took years to where we were both comfortable with just about anything.
Yeah.
And you'll go to these events, and someone will get friendly with Rosie, and some lady will get friendly with you, and you just kind of, how's it go?
Yeah, well,
I don't know if it's exactly like
we're
that.
We're not spring chickens anymore.
Yeah.
20 years ago, we couldn't go anywhere without somebody approaching us or whatever. We might give off a different vibe now too. So, but it's not as easy as people think. People think that, oh, we're swingers. You just do whatever you want. But it's complicated.
Yeah.
And it's complicated for us because to have a mutual attraction for us, it's not like either one of us goes off with somebody and leaves the other one sitting there playing canasta or whatever people play by themselves. I don't know, right? I mean, if we were at a convention and we knew some people, then that's a different story too. But for us to find somebody that we're both compatible with and we're both comfortable with is just getting harder. Mm-hmm. We both try to keep ourselves in shape. We're not workout fiends or nothing like that, but
you're a very attractive
try to
couple.
keep our. I think he's drunk.
No, you're a very attractive couple, and I could see couples that are younger or older, everything, you know, being attracted to you guys, and
can we get some names, or you got a list?
You have nice personalities, and you have a sense of humor, which is great. And I could see it kind of turning into something very easily.
Yeah.
But I understand how respect for your partner has to be a big part of it, right?
And if it isn't,
you can't just go off and like have fun with some girl that's cute in the corner, and leave Rosie sitting in the corner like.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Somebody sometimes has to take one for the team.
Yeah, and it's usually, and Rosie gets tired of taking one for the team. You know, she does. She's not attracted to guys with big pot bellies or, you know, don't take care of themselves. Her criteria. I don't even know how I match the criteria, but what you said hits it right on the head. The respect.
Yeah.
If you run into somebody and the guy has no respect for his wife or girlfriend, whatever, and you can tell that almost right away, because they don't care what's going on with their wife. They're not paying any attention. Right. It's all about what they want to do, and that relationship probably isn't going to last.
No, but they
long.
do. But they do care.
If the woman is getting more attention.
We've seen that plenty of times
where it's got to be. It's got to lead to something.
Yeah, because sometimes, like Mike said, most of the time it's the guy it's his idea most of the time. But then when he finds out that his wife, girlfriend, or whatever is getting more attention, then sometimes he puts the brakes on because that's not exactly what he had in mind.
I can imagine the swinging is not as easy as it sounds.
It is not as easy.
It isn't.
Like I said, it's complicated, and we know so many couples
Yeah.
that aren't couples anymore
Right.
because they didn't have any boundaries for themselves, and that relationship probably wasn't going to last anyway. But it kind of fast forwards that the end of a relationship. It's not a relationship builder. It can be. For us, I think we are together now because we were able to overcome the aspects of it that would drive us apart. I mean, I feel sorry for anybody that has sex with one person for their whole life. How boring that would be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it served us in a way to keep us together. But now it's not because
after a night of some fun with other couples, I would imagine that you've probably come back to Rosie at the end of the evening, and it really you need to treat her really, really nicely, and likewise with you, Rosie, right? With Mike.
Yeah. Well,
you can't just be like, wow, that was really great. Can't wait to do that again. You need to show some.
Well, I don't know for us if that's necessary.
No, because
it
we
was
already-
just a thing, you know.
It's just, okay.
It doesn't mean No, I know what you're talking about, but for us that never was
No.
really the
It goes
case.
back
We didn't have to
It goes-
pamper each other
You
afterwards.
know, it goes back
yeah.
to the respect thing, and
Right.
I
I mean,
like,
you know,
I wouldn't
doesn't-
want my partner to feel hurt or slighted or disrespected
Right.
or
Yeah.
anything negative
Yeah.
after a night of that
Yeah.
kind of fun.
But it does
I mean,
enhance.
swinging's not my thing, but I can imagine if I did it,
Yeah.
I would be more concerned about how my partner felt than
Yeah. But it does.
than my new partner.
But it does enhance your relationship. It you know.
How do you feel when you see a couple who are like hugging and kissing and holding hands at the pool because they're overcompensating?
Yeah.
One or both of them is might see somebody else, or they know they might be doing something with somebody else, and then we call it lovey-dovey, you know. We go, okay, there's insecurity there. I mean, when
And then later you see them, maybe not so lovey-dovey, you know.
if we're walking around holding hands and smooching, and like call it smooching, that's what you do in grade school. That would be a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems so
I
phony
mean,
to us.
do you think people are just not meant to be monogamous their whole lives?
Well, some people, I don't think they have a choice, but
Yeah.
I think nature alone would I don't know, your upbringing too.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't even know if that helps, because you can have the strictest upbringing and still, I think it's just how you grow up. And if you're thinking for yourself, I think that's the key right there. If you're thinking for yourself and not just doing what was ingrained upon you.
Right.
Yeah, like if you weren't a creative or free-thinking person,
Yeah.
and you only did what your parents told you to do,
Right.
you'd be married with 6 kids.
I probably would be.
But that, unfortunately for her, she met me. So
Yeah.
But you guys are happy. Your marriage has been.
Yeah.
It seems like it's still great today.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, this is why we stay home a lot. We were going to go out the last 2 nights. Well, it rained a little bit, so we can find all kinds of excuses not to go out.
Yeah.
And we have fun at home. The pandemic, because it plays into this too, really didn't affect us that much, because we're happy at home. We have a little dog that we both love this little dog, and she's part of our lives. So when we can actually sit here and say, okay, the little dog is more fun being home with the little dog than going to a swingers party.
Yeah.
You can tell, okay, we've been around a little bit.
Yeah.
Because okay, that was fun and everything, but it's not like sitting around with our little dog watching TV. It sounds boring.
Yeah.
It's like companionship ends up being what's most important.
I mean, we're together 24 hours a day. I mean, we are always together. Like today, he actually went out by himself for maybe 30 minutes, but that's it.
Did you time yet?
No. No, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, if we didn't like each other that much, we would.
Yeah, we're
Our
together
Mother's
all
Day
the time, and we don't
together.
have any problem with it. We laugh and joke. I mean, people, if they watched us at home, they would think we're out of our minds. We're like
Yeah.
making up jokes and laughing
Yeah.
and stuff, you know.
Mostly
And it's
mine.
very, well, it's fun, you know.
Yeah.
You Rosie, people don't really know how outgoing Rosie is and how her sense of humor and everything, because you seem you're intimidated a little bit when you get out in public and everything, but around me you don't seem to have much of a problem.
No.
But you feel like this lifestyle, nudism and the swinging has helped your relationship?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Because, you know, years when we first did get into the swinging, Mike says, well, we can either do this together or somebody's going to do it behind somebody's back. And that's not good for a relationship.
That's not.
Doing, you know, cheating on your significant other.
We have a friend
No.
that said, we won't say their name, but this
Yeah.
this young couple, he actually says in front of the girl he's about to marry, he says, I'm a cheater, not a swinger. And this girl looks at him, and
Yeah.
we're thinking to ourselves, you are an idiot. You know?
Yeah.
But it's true, and it probably still is
Yeah.
true today, and they aren't swingers.
No, they're not.
But, I mean, they'll get naked and stuff like that, but
Yeah. But there are still
there
swingers
are people like that.
that are cheaters. you
Yeah.
know, because there's couples that we have known that they would only swing with just one other couple. That's it. Well, then you know, they started cheating behind the other one's back without telling them they were going out to meet the other person. You know, so it's like, what's the point?
I imagine there are very different, many different forms of swinging, right?
Yes.
I interviewed someone just recently who a couple days ago who she and her husband like to be watched.
Yeah.
They don't really engage in sex with other couples as much as they just like to be watched at these parties.
Exactly.
And they get a crowd because they're both attractive, and they get off on that.
Yeah.
How many couples like got upset when we wouldn't be exclusive with them?
A lot.
Well, when we do that, there's a fine line between just having sex with one woman and only two. You know, so like it's not like you're trying to rack up numbers, but it wasn't about building another same relationship you have with your own spouse. But you're right. You have voyeurs. A lot of couples, the guy doesn't even want to be involved. He wants to watch his wife have sex with other men. I don't think we run into many women that want to do that.
No.
That we've ever met. I'm sure they're
Right.
Believe me, if it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
It's out.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most important thing you've learned in all your years of this lifestyle? About human nature, about people, about yourself? Anything?
Well,
Yeah. What do you think?
I'm not really sure what that.
Oh, we don't
answer
learn
is.
anything.
No, I'm not really sure what my answer is to that. I learned that, you know, even if Mike is attracted to another woman, that's it. It's just attraction. He's not going to go off with her, you know. So I learned.
Yeah,
You trust him.
Yes.
That he's coming home to you.
That's right. Yeah. See, when we first started,
You didn't know.
I was jealous,
Yeah.
you know, because, you know, we were not really into our relationship long enough for me not to be, but I was 17 when I met him, you know, so.
Whoa. You
It was
certain after 18, like real quick.
It was, so that I did learn.
Yeah. What I kind of learned is it can be just a normal thing. I mean, I'm not going to go. Rosie and I aren't going to walk into Walmart and like screw in the produce aisle, but we could very easily walk in there naked and not think anything of it. We
Right.
wouldn't feel like this is weird. I mean, people
Yeah.
have dreams about, and they're nightmares, I guess. They have dreams about being naked out in public.
Right.
We don't have dreams like that because it's not a big deal.
Right.
I mean, right? We're
Right.
real comfortable
Right.
with that.
There's so many people we've met that come to the nudist resorts and they'll say, "Oh, I had to get a lot of drinks in me before I would take my clothes off," and it's
You just said it this morning. What about the people that are laying in a lounger naked by the pool and got to put a wrap on to get up and go like into the restroom or go get a drink or something?
that have been nudists for most of their lives, but that's what they do. They have to put something on to go from the lounge chair to the bathroom or
But that's
wherever.
well,
That's their
but
thing.
that's what they want to do. We think that's strange, but who are we to say what's strange? You know, right?
Yeah.
So, but everybody has their thing, so it doesn't really matter if they're swingers or they're nudists or whatever. The people just have their own personalities, and I guess the best thing is let them have them. You know, if you're gonna learn anything, it's like let people do what they want, and certainly the thing that's bothering me the most that we never saw before in the 38 years of doing this, we never saw before. And I'm going to be very careful about what I say here. We never saw people coming into a place sporting their political attire, promoting their agenda that's totally outside of swinging or nudism or anything like that. It seems like they have to force their political agenda on other people. And it was a few years ago, we asked the management here at Paradise Lakes, would you please put up a sign on the door that says, leave your political attire at home? And they did. And you can, I think they still have one down on the door downstairs, but not every place is like that. I mean, the management at the time, and I think the current owners obviously agree with that concept because they have the notice on the door. Why divide people when we're all supposed to be, at least we're all pretty much agreeable to be nudists and everything? Why slice it up any more than that?
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But people are like that. People want to. Okay, let's get a group. Let's have a group. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like Groucho Marx. I don't want to be part of a. What is it? I don't want to be a member of a club that would have me as a member or whatever, something like that.
No, people love to hate.
yes.
They do, and it's human nature. Unfortunately, that's how it is right now. But you would think, okay, well, here we are in this environment, we can get past that. But no, given everything being equal, people are still going to want to segregate themselves from somebody else. And if it's not obvious, they'll find somebody to do it with.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why we just sit. I mean, we'll sit by ourselves and we'll take things in until we see how the lay of the land is.
Yeah.
We're not hard pressured because we don't want to go down that road.
Yeah.
Because how many times we've been at the pool, hey, how you talk? You know, oh, you have a boat. Well, we have a boat. Well, that's nice. We'll talk about that. Well, the next thing you know, something else comes up. I'm like, why is that important?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of being disappointed, we just, we
Just stay to ourselves.
right.
It happens in the nudist community as well.
That's right. Yeah.
We're the most antisocial social people you're ever going to meet.
Yeah.
All right, Mike and Rosie, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I wish you guys the best of luck. Have fun this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.